Raising readers requires all hands on deck to make sure our children have skills that are essential to their success in the classroom and beyond.
There is no magic wand, so what it really does is it comes down to hard work.
Duval is answering the call from a reading renaissance launched from City Hall.
As long as we get them excited about reading, we're excited. And we feel like if that can become also a family activity, then it's just all the better.
To special helpers across our community.
Even when I am teaching her about reading and stuff, it's not like a job to me.
Including some chill, furry friends. Our children are getting on the right track.
I come to read and listen every day and have fun with her. It's fun being there.
But our work is far from over.
This is an Action News Jax Family Focus Special, Raising Readers, presented by Public Supermarkets, First Coast YMCA, and First Florida Credit Union, featuring Action News Jax anchor Tenikka Hughes.
I'm Tenikka Hughes, and welcome to this Action News Jax Family Focus Special, Raising Readers. Throughout my career, I've spent countless hours visiting schools, libraries, churches, community centers, talking to children about the importance of education and literacy. I often ask the kids about their goals, and I explain how they will need literacy skills, the ability to read and write, in virtually every part of their lives. And I also explain how I use my literacy skills every single day. And little ones, if you happen to be watching, I wrote all the words that I'm reading off this teleprompter right now. The next 30 minutes is all about harnessing the power of literacy. I decided to call this special Raising Readers for two reasons. One, as our children grow, we hope to inspire them to become lifelong readers. And two, it's important that we provide the support to lift children who may struggle to read or whose families are facing challenges and need access to literacy resources. Well, now that you know why we're here, let's take a look at where our children stand when it comes to literacy. According to the National Assessment of Education Progress in 2024, just 62% of fourth graders are at the basic reading level, where they can interpret the meaning of what they read. And 33% of Florida fourth graders are proficient, meaning they can not only interpret what they read, but draw conclusions and make evaluations. And there's still room for improvement. And that's why work is underway all over our community to help our children get on track and thrive. Stepping up to meet the need, Jacksonville's Mayor, Donna Deegan. Now, literacy isn't just a part of her platform for a stronger city, it's her passion. And just 1 year in, her River City Readers program absolutely smashed its goal and now is going on the road. There's a reading revolution underway in Jacksonville. Mayor Donna Deegan launched her River City Readers program last year, challenging children to read 300,000 minutes. Local kids knocked out 1 million minutes in a matter of weeks and are now approaching the 3 million mark.
Just incredible to see how excited kids were to be part of this program. And I think part of it, Tenikka, if I'm honest, is that we made it a competition.
Prizes and fun incentives to help tackle a serious issue that impacts all of us. Studies show low literacy rates are linked to a number of issues, including crime, poverty, and unemployment. Another factor that leads to illiteracy, children missing too much school, which prompted the city to launch Show Up to Shine at the start of the school year. It's an initiative that encourages good attendance while bringing together a network of partners to help those struggling to get kids in school and keep them going back.
It's really very much like our River City Readers program that gives kids incentives for showing up to school. And we want all of our kids to show up because when they do, they're going to learn. If they don't, that's going to be a problem.
Mayor also ramped up her literacy push with a new River City Readers bookmobile, paid for through private donations from the Lucy Gooding Foundation and PNC Bank.
I love the idea of being able to bring books to children, but also especially in areas that, where kids may not so easily be able to get to a library or perhaps, they have other challenges getting close to books.
Creating access and excitement around reading to build a brighter future for our children.
Their community is here for them and that we're doing everything we can to make them successful.
The city tracks the progress of the River City Readers program on its website, breaking it down by minutes read, the age of the readers, and even the libraries they visit. If your child wants to join the River City Readers Challenge, you need to download a free app called Beanstack. It helps kids and their caregivers log their reading minutes and have a chance to win some pretty cool prizes. It's just one of the resources you'll find on actionnewsjax.com. Just look for the Tenikka's Books for Kids logo. Well, you just heard me and the mayor talking about chronic absenteeism and how much kids missing too much class time can also lead to illiteracy. Here's some additional perspective for you. This map from the Florida Chamber shows the results of the state reading assessment in spring of 2024. The darker the county, the more students are reading at a third grade level. St. Johns County leads the way with 76% of third graders reading at or above grade level. The report also noted St. Johns County has maintained the lowest chronic absenteeism rates compared to the rest of Florida at large over the last 10 years. Nassau ranks second at 68%, Clay 12th at 63%. Duval County is at 49%, ranked 51st out of Florida's 67 counties, and below the state average. Raising those reading numbers is one of the key goals for Jacksonville education leaders like Superintendent Dr. Christopher Bernier. He talked to me about the gains the district is seeing and why literacy is a family matter. For the last few years, there's been a community-wide push to get Duval third graders on track after data showed less than half of them were reading on grade level. The heart of that effort happening within Duval County Public Schools.
This is a Duval number. If you're proficient in third grade, you're 96% likely to graduate from high school. That's why it's important.
DCPS Superintendent Dr. Christopher Bernier says students are making progress.
In our scores across the board last year from the state testing, every single grade band that's tested 3 to 10 made positive gains in proficiency. That's unheard of. Anecdotal evidence with the third grade teachers talking about 60, 70, 80% of their children are now arriving in a position where they can start to read to learn.
Dr. Bernier credits support from community partners, the tireless work of educators, and some new programs the district has incorporated into its curriculum, including UFly Foundations, short for University of Florida Literacy Institute. The curriculum for kindergarten, first, and second grade students focuses on foundational skills like sounding out words.
What I tell parents is if you go into one of our kindergarten, first and second grade and third grade classrooms, you'll recognize reading again. It'll remind you of the way we were taught to read.
The superintendent says parents are seeing the difference.
And one of the things that young parents and parents with students in the early grades are telling me that we are on the right track.
And he encourages families to be partners in the process.
You know, we always make sure that our kids are fed right and we give them the right amount of food and we snack them and we try to choose healthy snacks for their own nutritional basis. We have to approach literacy acquisition the same way. It has to be fed every day.
When it comes to raising readers, parents have lots of help outside of their schools. One example is Read Jax. It was launched in 2022 with the goal of improving third grade reading scores in Duval County. Read Jax uses the slogan, 20 minutes a day paves the way, and encourages children to read or be read to 20 minutes a day. The Kids Hope Alliance says it plans to use a nearly $6 million grant from the U.S. Treasury to get more books to under-resourced communities. The 5-year grant will be used to send nurses or pediatricians into these communities for wellness checks, along with books to give to families they serve. Our family focus partner, First Coast YMCA, is a part of a statewide reading campaign. Through the New Worlds Reading Initiative, eligible students from VPK through 5th grade get a free book every month. Local YMCAs also host literacy events and workshops with games, food, tips, and tools to help families support their young readers. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going Bow Wow for Books, the local program that lets kids practice reading to Rover. The special benefits that come from reading to a 4-legged audience. Plus, taking a leap for literacy, how the Jaguars mascot is doing his part to encourage kids to read. But first, older kids teamed up with younger ones to focus on literacy, a local program that's benefiting young readers and their teen tutors.
You're watching an Action News Jax Family Focus Special, Raising Readers, presented by Public Supermarkets, First Coast YMCA, and First Florida Credit Union, featuring Action News Jax anchor Tenikka Hughes.
Even while I'm tired and I don't want to work, I still do it. and like it's fun being there.
And she's just very fun to work with. You know, she's calm, she listens. And even when I am teaching her about reading and stuff, it's not like a job to me.
Some local children are getting one-on-one support in their reading journey. That special help coming from the teen tutors of Read USA. I got a chance to learn more about the program that's growing readers and special bonds. Taylor Brown and Rakia Finley met last year through Read USA. Taylor is Rakia's literacy teen tutor, and they meet after school 3 times a week.
And she'll get the book, and then we'll do the prompts, the questions before we read the book, so she can like kind of get her inference out and what she thinks about the book.
9-year-old Rakia is up for the challenge.
I come to Read USA every day and have fun with her. And like, even when I'm tired and I don't want to work, I still do it. And like, it's fun being there.
And she's thriving. Read USA's chief tutoring officer says Rakia has seen 7 months of reading growth in the span of 3 months. Why do you work so hard with the tutoring?
Because I want to be like a professional at doing something like, or if I can say I was a professional at reading or a professional at learning very good.
Read USA trains and employs local teens like Ed White sophomore Taylor to tutor elementary students. Their sessions are supervised by certified reading teachers who can provide feedback and support. Read USA says data shows its students were 68% more likely to see an improvement in reading skills. And they also saw gains in reading comprehension. Taylor, who plans to become a child psychiatrist or neurologist, says she's benefiting from the program as well.
So patience, empathy, confidence, and stuff like, and working with kids, how to talk to kids and stuff. And so this job is definitely helping me prepare for those levels of positions.
Akivia Pugh is Rakia's mom and got emotional talking about her daughter's incredible progress.
Just excitement, just joy, just knowing that she's just amazing. She's just so amazing. She is my girl.
Budding and confident reader with a bright future.
I definitely see her shooting for success and just knowing how to thrive around any environment.
Communities and Schools just celebrated 35 years of helping kids graduate. And since 1999, its Duval Reads program has provided elementary school kids with one-on-one and small group tutoring with the support of AmeriCorps tutors. Their goal is to help students improve their reading skills by at least 10% during the school year. Well, the Jacksonville Jaguars are doing their part to get kids excited about reading through their literacy locker room events. Players visit schools, read to kids, and even give out books. And take a look. Here are some images of Jaguars legend Donovan Darius in Jacksonville at a literacy locker room event at John Love Early Learning Center. Since last year, the team has already donated nearly 4,000 books to local kids. Another member of the Jags family is also a bookworm. Mascot Jackson DeVille put out a children's book called Jackson's Big Jump. It walks kids through how the Hall of Fame mascot gets ready for big games, including his high-flying stadium stunts. A local man is using his gift of gab to build better, confident readers in the classroom. Octavius Davis is an entrepreneur and professional voice actor who created the $1 Million Voice Academy last year. The course is for students up to 8th grade. Davis focuses on comprehension, creative writing, speed reading, and fun. Kids in the program write stories and then they get on the mic and share them with their peers.
I like Mr. O and I like reading on the microphone and reading in front of the class. Doing the read for speed is fun because we get a prize.
To see how these kids are taken to this program and really diving in, transitioning into doing character voices, excited about being time to do read for speed is very fulfilling for me. It reminds me of the promise that I made to my 14-year-old self when I first was inspired to become a voice actor.
In January of this year, Davis announced that 200 kids had officially completed his 8-week program. Stay where you are, because we're not done talking about the power of reading. Coming up, I get personal and talk about how my childhood in a small town inspired me giving back. And I'll tell you the one book that changed everything for me as a kid. And story time with our four-legged friends, how reading to pets helps both kids and the dogs.
You're watching an Action News Jax Family Focus special, Raising Leaders, presented by Public Supermarkets, First Coast YMCA, and First Florida Credit Union, featuring Action News Jax anchor Tenikka Hughes.
Q is for quiet, 1 is for...
I have a really sweet dog named Chester, and I can tell you one of the great things about dogs, they don't mind if you don't recognize a word or have to sound it out. They just love hanging out with you and a good book. The Jacksonville Public Library has a program where kids can come in and read to a therapy dog. Action News Jax photojournalist Ryan Kendall shows us how the dogs do their job, making no judgments, just helping kids build skills and confidence.
This is a alphabet. G is making a goal. K is for kisses. S is for sun on the way to school. Good night, Tug. They had to skate around. They all began to skate around. This story is Maxon gets a job. Where to see Max? If you found a little ball in the grass and it was there for days, you could take it home. This is a long book. And it didn't belong to anyone. Now that's my job. I love my job. Woof, woof. This book is called Emma Full of Wonders. She dreamed of singing, dancing, rolling in the grass, and she dreamed of food, splashing in deeper water, and going for longer walks. So she ate, and then she took a nap. Thank you all for a fun day. The end.
The Jacksonville Humane Society has a similar program called Positive Reading, where people can read to animals in the shelter. The Jacksonville Public Library offers programs, events, and activities for children all year round. Families can get access to a ton of free digital resources, including educational games, with their library cards. The Jax Library also partners with the Library Foundation of Jacksonville to offer the Jax Kids Book Club. The program provides backpacks filled with books to all registered VPK students in Jacksonville to get them excited about reading and visiting the library. So you've probably noticed all the books around me during this special, and these are actually early donations to an initiative that's really close to my heart, Tenikka's Books for Kids. This is me back in 2018, making a heartfelt appeal for donations for the very first year of Tenikka's Books for Kids. There's such a big world out there, and I unlocked it through books, and I think that all kids deserve that chance. You answered the call then, and please donate to Tenikka's Books for Kids
Like me.
every year since. Help me put more books in the hands of local children by donating to Tenikka's Books for Kids. And more than 35,000 free books later, we're now at year 8. The inspiration for my book drive was birthed 500 miles away in my small hometown of Whitakers, North Carolina. I started reading as a toddler, and growing up, one of my favorite places in the world was our town's one-room library. And we had plenty of books at home, too. But my favorite, by far, was our collection of World Book encyclopedias from the 80s. Each volume expanded my mind and curiosity and sparked my dream of becoming a journalist. Throughout my career, I've dedicated myself to sharing the magic and power of reading with children. And through Tenikka's Books for Kids, I hope to put that special book in their hands that will change their lives, too. And I'm so grateful for your support in sharing that incredible gift. Year 8 of Tenikka's Books for Kids is underway right now. You can donate at any branch of the Jacksonville Public Library, at our participating family-focused partners. You can order books online or make a cash donation through the Tenikka's Books for Kids Fund at the Library Foundation of Jacksonville. Use your smartphone to scan the QR code online to get more information. We've covered a lot of ground in the last 30 minutes, and we have more information to give you. Head to actionnewsjax.com and click on the Tenikka's Books for Kids logo right on the homepage, and then you'll see the Raising Readers report, and that's where we put links and information about all of the programs that we feature tonight. I really hope you feel more empowered about supporting your child's literacy journey, inspire it to volunteer, or even donate resources to help get more kids reading. Every bit helps, and together we can make a difference. On behalf of all of us here at Action News Jax, I'm Tenikka Hughes. Thanks for watching and reading.
Thanks for watching an Action News Jax Family Focus Special, Raising Readers, presented by Public Supermarkets, First Coast YMCA, and First Florida Credit Union, featuring Action News Jax anchor Tenikka Hughes.